Tom Bond, Jesse Olson, and Dave Martin. Okay, the consider act on the nomination of the Key Creek Scholar of the Year and Sportsman as well. Is there one more?
No, the scholar is, we only had 2 nominations. The male sportsman of the year is the one that you would need to decide on.
Oh, okay,
We had 2 names, Chad Pennington and Grayson Shantz.
right.
Somebody's going to elaborate.
Do what?
No.
Okay, then, while Roger look at those, we'll go to D17, consider an act on sidewalks. Jeffrey, what we got?
You see here in front of you, me and the mayor did a drive around. We decided to start on one side of town. The initial money that we allocated last month, and just work our way all the way across town, doing repairs and putting in new sections that are missing to make all of our sidewalks connect. This first subdivision is Lakewood Gardens, y'all are familiar with. You'll see down there that green, I went through there, marked green is where there is no sidewalks, and that would be new sidewalks that we would put in to make a complete loop around the neighborhood. The red ones are existing sidewalk that needs to be repaired. We go in there and rip out that disrepair and put in a new sidewalk to make that a good traveling surface. So this is just to start on the the sidewalk cities we issued last month in the council. I don't have the exact linear foot, but I've talked to some contractors and I've got some pretty good prices on flat work.
Does it fit into the budget we talked about?
We probably won't be able to get all that because just that section down Main Street is probably going to be 1,400 foot. I mean, that's a pretty good stretch from Hook all the way to Lakewood.
What's
For
the
sure,
story with the interior?
For sure, the repairs, I say that for sure. Most likely, you could get all the repairs done for that, and I'm hoping that we can get some of the new done for that too as well.
Yeah, a lot of these sidewalks, I mean, like you said, repairs on the inside are probably first and foremost, because if people are already using those and they're sticking out tree roots and pushing them up, all those things. And then, working your way out, the sidewalks just kind of dead end into the road. And I know this morning when I was driving down Main Street, there were 3 different people walking on the side of the road, when there's no sidewalk and like that. So the plan would be to take it all the way up into Lake Dallas as we get further and further up, and then that way it keeps people off it, because it's a really busy road in the summer. I mean, really busy.
In the repairs, we may be talking 1 5-foot panel, we may be talking 10 foot. I mean, if I were to throw out a number, probably just the repairs, you probably might be looking at 100 foot total, 150 maybe. So that's, if you do that times $4 a square foot, I mean, that's not much.
Did we allocate 25,000?
So you go down Main Street or down Hook Street if you got the inside first and then without them?
I figured we'd go down Hook, because we've got sidewalks that come out on Chasewood, sidewalks that come out of Lakewood to Hook Street, but there's no way to go north on Hook Street. So I figured we'd do Hook, connect all those adjacent outfall streets, and then you can start on your Main Street to go west up Main to connect into our sidewalks over there in Royal Oaks.
So, I mean, this is just a starting point, like I said, we just start from one subdivision and just keep working our way through the city. Getting all repairs done and everything we can do, and then when we get into some subdivisions that don't have sidewalks, we look at what easements we have in place, what easements we can get, and we just start going from there, working our way out. So, Lance, since that money's already been allocated, last month at the agenda, it's just a matter of getting the best bid, right, for these?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Jeffrey, on this, if the council's in agreement, we would get three best bids for this, and then,
Make a decision.
so is there any questions on this? Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think there's much repair, you really start driving and looking at it and seeing it, and so forth. So, okay, Jeffrey, we'll just get 3 best bids, and then we'll go from there. And we may have to get half involved once we get down that hill we talked about,
Yeah.
and those neighbors too.
Right.
If we're gonna do it right and get it done. So, okay. Let's go to consider an act amendment to the Tuberville Road reconstruction contract with Half Associates. This is a scope of work that's presented for you. Looking at, in conjunction with the enclave and expanding the rest of Tuberville Road to 3 lanes. Starting back up here at the hill and then kind of coming down and going that way in front of the enclave and then stopping right at that point. I can't remember the name of
It'll
the.
be just the other side of the box culvert that will come underneath.
Okay, James, you want to come up?
I can.
Yeah.
This we're going to go from, at first we're going to be to Ronald Reagan to that, about 50 feet away from the box culvert from the enclave. But we're now looking a little bit further, like to the bit of the, how we're going to be able to get the road over top of those box culverts. Right now we looked at 2 different options. The council approved us to take a look at the profile, and we're basically looking at having sort of like a little hump over the road because of that culvert, or bringing that up, but then we need to deal with the retaining walls. I just met with the lady that represents the Garcia, and we're going to set up a meeting with the actual owner to go over possibly bringing that culvert down.
Oh, good. That's good.
And so that's what we're hoping that we can do that. So we're looking at end of March, early April, to be able to set up that meeting with them. So, but that's pretty much the limits of the road. One thing that we have that profile ready, so we can meet with Jeffrey and present that to the council whenever we want to. And we'll send a PDF with cross sections and everything. That's fine. What we need to deal with is how do we want to transition between the proposed Ronald Reagan that's right now being constructed, and then with this new section of road, do we want to have curb and gutter on this from Ronald Reagan over here, or do we want to keep it with the bar ditches?
Keep it uniform. Yeah, I was gonna say, keep it consistent with it is now. So, yeah, we definitely want to keep it consistent. So this scope right here takes in all the water that's coming down to Tuberville and everything that's down through there, and
We're looking at basically trying to reduce the amount of water going down south Tuberville. And so we're taking a look at the whole drainage area going to the Tuberville and south Tuberville with this scope of work. And so we're looking at different alternatives of what we can do to basically make sure that we're not increasing the flows downstream of south of Tuberville with this proposal.
okay. Any questions for James? What do we have left in the drainage, Ball and Christie?
I don't have an exact number, but I think we have enough to cover
I
this.
think it was 225, if I remember, if it's,
Yes.
okay. Lance, you have any questions?
No, I read over the contract.
Pat, what's the time?
About a month, 45 days, so we're on the contract, so from today.
Okay. All right, so about a month.
I think that the Garcias cooperate, we can lower the culvert, we might put that into the equation right there too. So, but for now, we're looking at 30 to 45 days.
Okay. So this will come under the drainage bond, and we'll take care of all, we'll look at everything in the area, and then come back and present it to us and go from there. Any questions? Entertain a motion?
No, well, I do have a question. Are we approving then are we approving the revised entire amount of 83,540, or are we approving
Just
just the
just the
73,640 additional?
The 73,000.
Okay.
Okay, entertain a motion? Councilman Clark?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the amendment to the Tuberville Road reconstruction contract with Abbott Associates in an amount not to exceed $73,540.
Okay. Councilman Parks made a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Councilman Kenny seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, going back up to D13, for the business of the year, it's going to be Rave Movie Theater. So we need a motion for that.
I'd like to make a motion that, for Rave Movie Theater to be Business of the Year.
Okay, Councilman Wise made a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Councilman 3 seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and then for the Citizen of the Year, it's going to be Tom Bond. And we need a motion for that.
I'd like to make a motion that we recognize Tom Bont as Hickory Creek Citizen of the Year.
Okay, Councilman Wise made a motion, we have a second. Councilman 3 seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Tom, since you're here.
Thank you for that.
You can leave now.
Act surprise next month.
Yes, ma'am.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay, and then for nomination for Sportsman of the Year.
Scholar, let's do scholar, the two names
Oh.
that we have.
Yes. Alexa Dissek and Mackenzie
Mackenzie Harrison.
All right, so we have a motion for that?
We didn't have the ballot one?
No, it's just the two. That's what the school recommended.
All right.
Councilman Clark?
Make a motion that we recognize Alexa Dusak and Mackenzie Harrison as the 2012 Hickory Creek Scholars of the Year.
Councilman Clark's made a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Councilman Wise seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then for Sportsman of the Year, Grayson Shantz, will be the Sportsman of the Year.
And the young lady is Reagan.
Oh,
Spider.
yeah, so we get a nomination for those two. Entertain a motion?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion, we accept Grayson Shantz as Sportsman of the Year and Reagan Snyder as Sportswoman of the Year for
Councilman
Hickory Creek.
Kenny's made a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Councilman Wise seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then let the record reflect that Councilman Gordon has joined us at 7:53. All right, we're going to move on down to item E1, deliberate the purchase of real property in accordance with section 551072 of the Texas Government Code. Deliberation in an open meeting would have detrimental effect on the position of town negotiations with third party. So it is now 7:55.
You have to do
I'm sorry.
I'll go ahead and state, Mayor, if you.
Okay, go ahead.
That we're going into the executive session under 551071 and 551072. One is to deliberate the potential purchase of real property, and the second is to receive legal advice regarding the suit entitled Randy Wall versus Town of Hickory Creek.
It is now 7:55.